guess it's howdy, folks. My name's Burnt Reynolds. I've already opened up my beer so you don't get to hear the sound of it this time. But I'm gonna get right to it. Unless you've lived under a fucking rock or something, you know there's a big ass rainfall, storm, hurricane, something heading this way. And it looks pretty serious. So I've written up a list of things for the best way to prepare for a storm like this. It's just from my years of experience. And one thing you're going to need is toilet paper. I got some right here. You gotta have, anybody that's going to survive a storm, they need toilet paper. I don't really know what the hell are you going to do without it. Next thing you need is go to Kroger's, skip the line, and buy a shitload of rice packs. It's essential. You want to buy rice packs and just pack the house with rice packs. It'll absorb the moisture. Just surround the house with rice packs. That's all I can think. The other thing is, where in the hell is there? The other thing you want to do is, good Lord, has it already been that much time? The other thing you want to do is move your furniture. Get your furniture out of your house and move it next door. That way, if there's any damages, you just blame your neighbors. Now make sure your neighbors are gone when you move the furniture over there, because otherwise they're just going to tell you to take the shit back. Let's see what else. Another thing, get a bucket. A bucket and a mop is going to be essential, because when that water starts flowing around your house and getting in there, it's simple. You just get a bucket and you just scoop up the water, and then you just pour it out. Here's some more things that are essential for what's coming. Boots. You should have a pair of boots to protect your feet. And another thing you're going to need, and I strongly recommend this, you're going to need a bottle of whiskey. It's right here. Jim Beam, Jack Daniels. There's all sorts of whiskey you can choose from. That's another thing that's going to be essential. Another thing you're going to need is a woman with big tits. Because if the shit starts getting rough, a woman with big tits it makes you feel secure, it's like a flotation device. Definitely something you want in case there's flood. Now, another thing is, if you're driving and there's a flood, you come up on a flood, I strongly suggest just driving through it as fast as you can. But if it's deep, if it's deep as shit like a lake, now you might get into a snag, or you may not like what happens after that. And if your car locks up on you, if you don't drown, you're gonna need to take it to a garage. Which so it reminds me of this mechanic I had. He told me this little joke. And he said, now, this morning I was opening the garage, for work, and this fella come limping down the sidewalk with a big old suitcase. And it was like an oversized suitcase. It looked heavy. And he said, please, sir, I need a ride to the bus station. And he said, I didn't have time. I said, buddy, I don't have time to give you a ride to the bus station. He said, please, the bus leaves out of Roanoke at 7:30 a.m. or whatever. I ain't gonna make it walking. I need a ride. So he said, all right, get in the truck. So he loads him in the truck, gets that suitcase, and they started driving toward the bus station. And he says, he looks over there and he says, what you got in that suitcase anyway? That feller says, well, suck my dick and I'll tell you. And I tell you what, my buddy, the garage mechanic, he slammed on the damn brakes. That suitcase hit the damn windshield. He said, buddy, I'm going to have to ask you get the hell out of my truck. He just wanted that creep out of there. And he said, get the fuck out of my truck. He grabbed him by the collar and just threw him out there. That feller goes running down the street. Still left his suitcase there with him in that truck. So my buddy, garage mechanic, he turns around, he drives back toward the garage. And he just threw that suitcase over, by the sidewalk. And he just went back to work. He just went back to the garage. Come about noon, he looks out there and he notices the suitcase is still sitting out there. So he's getting a bit curious. So he opens up that suitcase and looks in there. And then he just quit talking, the garage mechanic. And by this point, I was on the edge of my seat. And I said, sir, what the hell was in that suitcase? The garage mechanic looks at me, he said, suck my dick and I'll tell you. Well, folks, I hope this has helped y'all with how best to prepare for a flood. It's that boots, whiskey, girl with big tits, bucket, mop, neighbor's house, rice packs. I don't know what else, unless I've forgotten something. A dehumidifier, it might help. They're awful noisy though. They help you sleep though if you like white noise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Burnt Reynolds. This has been another, how the hell do I turn this off here?